What's up YouTube, it's Louis here bringing you today's cryptocurrency video. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin because there's potential massive M pattern happening over here and we need to go through its targets. It may not happen at all because you need to lose the neckline first. But before we get into this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment and turn the notification bells on. Perfect. Let's look at Bitcoin. So we have this potential huge M pattern which has a nasty target to the downside. Of course, this only comes into play once you lose this neckline, and I'll give you that level now. So once Bitcoin loses, let's put that over here. Let's do it again. Once Bitcoin loses 58,577, this is, and it closes below and keeps hitting its head. Look, you closed below, but you didn't hit your head. You got straight back above. So basically, once you close below this 55 EMA, look at that for confluence. Swing low here, swing high, swing low. You made a new one, you lost your swing high, or these ones here, and you come to the swing low, find support, and you have over here the 55 EMA. You had a little relief rally, which I told you guys about before, getting rejected over here and falling below it, negative. But you met some certain technical targets to the downside, which I gave you. Look at that for some confidence. You hit the two over here at 55, or yeah, just under 56k, beautiful. And now you're retracing back up. You got back above this one, which is beautiful, which means that this is all invalidated further downside. But if you do lose the one again, if you do lose the 55 daily EMA, then this is when this M pattern comes into play and we have nasty targets to the downside. So guys, I'll give you this target now of the M pattern over here. And if we do lose the low down here, we're going to come to in and around 49k. And look where that's lining up with this resistance, where we fell, and when we got above it, we never came back to test it. And this is why everyone was saying we're going to come down to here. But this over here is actually a fake out. This is, yes, lining up nicely with this support and resistance, but when you broke out of this resistance over here, you fell straight back under, meaning that this was a fake out. So this is not your true resistance. This is your true resistance. And look at this massive support down here when you had this dump. So this is the area. I'm going to go into further detail about why it could potentially go to here if we do lose this. So yeah, it's your technical target out of the M anyway, but your 200 EMA is also lining up here. So there's two indications to why we'll come down here. Just because it's a technical target, once you lose here, it doesn't mean it has to come down here. You could literally, like when you lost this put you in a target to here, but again, you invalidated it getting back above. But if you lose it again, then yeah, you will go down there. But until then, until you lose it, it's not going to happen. You're not going down here until you lose this. Even if you do lose this, you don't have to come all the way down here, even though it is the technical target. So I'm going to place the fibs now. Oh my gosh, forgot to do the fibs for a second. So once you lose the one here, so if you lose 56k, we don't want to lose 56,400 basically. Let's draw that in for you. So we don't want to lose 56,435. I'll put that right there. So we don't want to lose this, because if you do, you're going to the 1618, and look at that for some confluence. Exactly the 1618, 49867. So we're going to come to in and around this area basically, guys, if you lose this 55 EMA on the daily time frame. Again, it doesn't have to happen because at the moment you're above it. And so as long as you hold support, which you are right now, it's amazing. It's looking good. So we'll head to the 4 hour. Don't know why that's there. So we'll head to the 4 hour and look for some patterns. So let's say that we have topped out over here. We could be retracing to find support before continuing up. So at the moment you found support over here, which if we go to the 1 hour, what's this double bottoms neckline that I gave you yesterday? Over here, double bottom, and you've got a technical target up here at 60,300, and look where the 200 EMA on the 1 hour is, lining up there exactly perfect. So you're in a technical target to there, as long as you don't lose this low. You lost it, you got back above, you lost it, and now we're above it. But this still got 37 minutes, and so this could become a nasty wick. We close below, and that's where we start the journey downwards. And if you do lose this low, you potentially will come back down to in and around here. Maybe come to here, which is at the 382. So you could bounce from the 382 or the 0.5. Worst case, the 618 at 57k, which I gave you earlier on my Twitter. So make sure you're following my Twitter, Louis_crypto. That's where I post multiple updates in the day, like on the smaller time frames, like when we have breakouts, fake outs, and whatnot. I had someone yesterday like, oh, you keep changing your bias every hour. Just focus on the higher time frames. Guys, if you don't like me updating you guys when something's going on, then just don't follow me. You know what I mean? I'm only trying to give you targets. When you break down, you got targets to the downside. Target was met, and so we printed a new pattern. Broke above this, like we had this descending triangle here. I gave you a target down here, met the target, we pumped back up, broke above this, I gave you a new target. Like, what is wrong with that? You know what I mean? If you don't like my content, literally F off. Because I'm literally trying to keep everyone updated, because this is the thing that many people want, because all these big YouTubers and Twitter pages, they're not keeping you guys constantly updated. They'll do like one video a day and whatnot, and then if we're dumping, some of them disappear and whatnot, and I will always be there for you guys, and I always maintain no biases. I always look at both scenarios. So guys, I told you the bullish case, so if we retrace, so it could go to here, or the 382, and then worst case down here at 57k. However, if you do lose 57k, if you do lose this low over here, which is sitting on this support over here, if you do lose that, then we could create something called a reversal wave. And so if you lost that, you'd come to the one at 55k, which I mentioned earlier on in my quick fire Bitcoin update on Twitter. So you'd come down to here, and we could double bottom here. We need to find a bottoming out structure, so that could be a massive double bottom. You could even just double bottom all the way to here and then carry on. But if you do lose this low, this is where we have further targets to the downside. And at the start of the week, when we actually first started dipping, I gave you guys a potential target of 54k, 54,500. Everyone's shouting, oh, 52, 52, and I was saying 54. And look where that 54 zone is lining up with 1.272. This is like your minimal target once you break the one. But for me, this could be the end of it, basically. You could have already bottomed out. I'm just telling you another scenario that may have happened if you do lose significant key levels as the 57 and the 55. If you do lose them two levels, then these are your targets. If you don't lose them levels, look, you don't even have to come down to here, the 618 at all, if you're holding the 55. This is what everyone needs to understand. I'm just giving you what-if scenarios, because anything's a possibility in crypto, and you must understand that. I hope you understood that. So if you lose the one, it's very likely going to come to the 1618 at 53k, which is this zone that I gave you at the start of the week. And look where that 2 and the 2.72 is. Very, very close to that massive M patterns target. So look at that for confluence. And when we had this Fibonacci retracement over here, let me delete this other one now. When we had that Fibonacci retracement, was it this one? Or no, it's a bit further back, I think. I forgot now. No, it was that one. So look, you came to the 2. It was fire. Let me get fire out. Yeah. So we had this retracement over here. Can you see? We got to the 2.272, had a rally, and I told you guys, if we can get above the 1618, you won't try and tackle it again. And you failed to, and that's why we went to tackle it again, and you overshot it. So that's what potentially could happen on Bitcoin. You could, where's that fib now? Yeah, you can overshoot it. Let me get that fib back. So yeah, that 2.272, you could, this is how it would play out basically. This is what should happen, because a Fibonacci is a retracement tool, where you retrace to the 618 and then continue. However, if you lose it, you create the reversal wave and you come to the 1, where you could double bottom and then continue up. However, if you do lose this low, as I said, these are your targets. But if you lose the 1618, hit your head, you're coming down to here. And to finish it off, the dip, you need to get above the 1618 and get above the 1. That's where you flip back bullish, and then you get your bottoming out structure here. However, when you come to the 2, it's highly likely you come to the 2, 2.272, and you come to the 2 and get rejected one more time and overshoot it before getting back above, and then creating another reversal pattern. And that's all lining up as confluence, this area. But again, none of this has to happen whatsoever, guys. None of it has to happen. It's all what ifs at the moment. Remember, the 55 daily EMA is here at 58.577. If you lose that, that's when we come look at these further down targets. And anyway, remember I told you we've had this pump. This could even be a bear flag, bearish continuation pattern like that. But you might even bottom out here or continue down to here. Do you see what I mean, guys? So we need to see Bitcoin. If you don't lose that 58, if you don't lose this green line basically, which is 58,500, we're good. And what I do like is on the 1 hour, at the moment, obviously it's current candle, so you can't say anything. But what I do like is you've come to the 55, bounced off, come to the 55, bounced off. But then when you lost it, you retested that 58,500, which is that level that we don't want to lose, which is the 55 daily EMA. And you've bounced off of it and had a nice retracement. So now we're printing something called an ascending triangle or double bottom. And we can give you further bullish targets, basically, to the upside. Look at that. So that would take us back to the 0, and hopefully we don't get rejected and we can continue to our bullish target over here, which I gave you guys yesterday out of this larger double bottom, and that would be at 60k, 6,300, which is lining up exactly with the 200 EMA on the 1 hour. Perfect, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's Bitcoin update. I'll catch you in the next one, and as always, peace.